Today we're going to talk about some of the most brutal things humans have done to each other in the name of punishments. The human mind has long been capable of dreaming up new and terrible ways to punish alleged villains, witches, and anyone else who was unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The first on our list today is falling. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when someone wrongs you? Throw them off a cliff? This has been a simple solution to unwanted nuisances for centuries. While it is largely falling out of fashion, Iran still employs this method for state executions. The second on our list today is impalement. This is a method of torture and execution. It is the penetration of a human body by an object such as a stake, pole, spear, or hook. The victim's hands are first tied behind his back. After that, they slit up his buttocks with a razor. Then they thrust up into his body a very long stick, as big as a man's arm, sharp at the points, which has been lubricated. Then they lift him up and plant this very stick straight in the ground until the stick comes out through his breast, head or shoulder. It usually takes hours to days before the victim dies, sometimes a matter of seconds. The next on our list is crushed by elephants. This is a weirdly specific method of execution, but you can't argue with its effectiveness. As you might guess, it is common in areas where elephants are naturally found, primarily in the South and Southeast Asia. Elephants were often trained in order to ensure the trampling was as brutal as possible. Sometimes the elephants decide to make the crushing slow to make it more agonizing, and other times it does it quickly. The next on our list is, well, I can't pronounce it well, but I'll give it a try. Pawanakuli, also known as the punishment of the sack. It was used in ancient Rome in cases of parricide, meaning killing one's parents or other close family members. The victim is sewn into a leather sack with a number of animals, including dog, a snake, and a chicken. Then the whole bag was tossed into a body of water. If the animals didn't kill the alleged murderer, drowning surely would. The next one is white torture. While the term white torture can mean any psychological torture in general, the meaning here is more literal. White torture is a type of sensory deprivation in which the prisoner's cell, clothes, and even food are entirely white. Guards wear all white, lights are kept on 24 hours a day, and no words are spoken. No color is seen. The next one, rat torture. This terrifying and I'll admit creative form of torture, a hungry or diseased rat is placed in a bucket on the victim's bare stomach or chest. The bucket is then heated from the outside, and the agitated rat chews its way through the unfortunate person's flesh and any organs it happened to encounter on its way out. I know this has to be really excruciating. If you've watched Game of Thrones, it's likely you've seen this method of torture. And the last on today's list is the blood eagle. This has to be the most creative way to die. The blood eagle comes from the Nordic legends of Viking executions. The condemned's back was slashed so as to give access to the ribs, which were then broken and twisted upward to look like wings. To add injury to injury, salt is poured into the wound, and as a final blow, the lungs are pulled out and dropped over the rib wings for effect. Thankfully, there is a debate about whether or not this practice actually existed, or if it is just the stuff of legend. Either way, it's terrifying that someone took the time to think this up. For those of you who've watched the Viking series, I'm sure you've seen this brutal execution. There are many more of this brutal torture, but I'll stop here for today. If you want me to continue, please do state so in the comment section below, and also do tell me which torture is the worst, and if you had to die one way, what will it be and why? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.